Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope, all is well. No periodic table, no alien talk tonight. However, you already know the creator came through with a message. All right. If you are new here, welcome. Here on Inappropriate Radio, we discuss everything from spirituality to science and religion and everything in between. Psychology, astrology, astronomy, aliens, sociology. I mean, you name it. We cover everything that can be attributed to spiritual warfare. All right. Welcome. Hi. So I actually got this download maybe around Tuesday-ish, something like Tuesday or Wednesday. And okay, about a month ago, we had a segment about people who have been spiritually set in place to guard the gate, right? They are pretty much observing the activities of the spiritual gates, if you will, and the people who are coming in and coming out, the people who have prophecies. I mean, we all have prophecies, but I mean prophecies that are connected to a whole bunch of people, right? Let's just say a person like Martin Luther King, right? They knew he was coming. The gate was guarded when he came. The gate was guarded when he left, right? But the creator took this a little bit deeper. He told me that there are entities that are around when conception time is brewing, okay? So just imagine, like, I don't know, Mary. Let's just say somebody like Mary, Mother Mary. Remember, and that's crazy because I'm just realizing this story right now as we're speaking. I didn't even think about it until we started recording. Remember when they knew that Jesus was coming and they were like going around in the town killing people, but this is like a little bit deeper than that. There is an actual factual stalkation for women, and we even had a segment a while back, not too far back, like a few months ago, about protecting pregnant women. And now it makes sense why we would be having this conversation, simply because people are being stalked in the spirit, on top of us needing to go through this whole inconspicuous activity and these really, really dense, heavy vibrations. We are now expected to move into these frequencies subtly, right? Kind of like in a secretive manner, if you will. A lot of people are not really sure how to like hide anything, but lately I've been watching the news. I'm not sure if you've been watching, but over the past maybe 2 or 3 years, there has been a lot of reports of cryptic pregnancies. Now, you could go look that up. I don't want to get too far off of the topic because that's not what we're talking about. We will get into that. We'll go over it, but yeah, basically when you're pregnant and you don't know that you're pregnant, and a lot of these women are walking into the hospital with complaints of one thing and they're coming out with a full-fledged baby, okay? Crazy. I think one of like an instance like that is like a telltale sign, right? That God is working. And why would God hide a pregnancy from even the mother? I mean, that would be something peculiar, right? Like, why wouldn't God want to have a woman aware that she is with child, obviously it's for a reason, right? Because that's not really normal. That's in a rare instance. But there are witches and warlocks who are aware of the coming of these spirits, these souls, right? They have certain appointments, and a lot of them work in the healthcare field. They work in the daycare field. Again, we had this conversation of, a lot of people who we don't know just going to be like walking up to us because they know who we are, and we don't necessarily know who they are. And this is spiritual assignment, okay? The same way some people, like maybe Chosen or Black Sheep, has an appointment, it's the same way that these witches and warlocks have an appointment as well, okay? A lot of them are powerful enough to peek and pry into the lives of, these mothers, these people, and some of them are not even human. Some of them have just been strong enough to take on human form, okay? So we don't have to necessarily see these people, ever meet them, know them. And not everyone is out to assist, okay? The last conversation was simply kind of taking like a neutral stance about it, right? Like people who are aware, they're not necessarily manipulating anything. They're just on standby watching. They are making sure the prophecy comes to pass. If you're not doing what it is you're supposed to do, they'll send you certain energy. And if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, they'll send you certain energy. It's really that simple. But this conversation is more so geared towards making sure, if you know that your child is appointed to something, or you are, to really kind of just protect your womb and pray against, those spirits that are lurking in the shadows, those spirits that are attempting to send attacks in before you even get to conceive, right? Because we're talking about that time period before the conception of the child. They're aware. So this is the reason for the cryptic pregnancies, the premature births, having to be moved around, the different conditions that might dictate a hiccup or a mishap during the pregnancy to kind of throw off the timing, not knowing the correct week or how far along in the gestation period. All of those things are signs that the Creator is protecting the mother and the child from attack, okay? Because a lot of these spirits, if they can pinpoint when, where, and how you're going to be born, they can easily just contact, the nurses and the doctors, jump inside of their bodies, take over their bodies, or sometimes they are already working in these really low vibrational demonic spaces to the point to where they literally don't even need to contact anything. They're already waiting. Like, this is a part of their assignment to be low vibrational. So with that said, if you are trying to conceive and you know that your child is going to be selected for some appointment, excuse me, then it would behoove you to make sure you are on point about the environment that you are in at all times, okay? It's going to be really important for you to make sure that you are staying away from things that can compromise your health, that can compromise your spirit, that can compromise your mentality, okay? Because some people are really freaking good, but then all it takes is one bad train of thought, and next thing you know, you're in a situation that you really prefer not to be in, okay? All because of some crazy, wacky idea, right? So the last thing that you might want to do is to compromise your status or your position at your job and your living arrangement. I mean, you don't want to compromise it. If the Creator makes something happen, it's obviously for the greater of your good. It's for a lesson in order for you to grow and develop before you move on to the next phase, right? These witches and warlocks are timing, okay, because they have access to the spiritual realm, okay? Remember, the spiritual realm is just a world. It's not necessarily higher or lower or to the left some or to the right some more than others, right? The spiritual realm is a place where all beings have access to some capacity, and some others have a little bit more knowledge and the ability to decipher what is going on in those realms, right? And sometimes those beings are not even human. There are instances, okay, where people have lost their souls and some other spirit has taken over their vessel. There are people who we are around every day, and they're not actually human. They are an entity that, like I said, was strong enough to take human form. So you have to be careful, on what it is that you might feel is for you. Okay, if something is hidden involving your pregnancy, if you are not able to conceive, if you are conceiving and something is telling you not to tell anyone, not to go to the doctor, not to leave your proof hanging out around people, not to post it, not to, make it obvious, right? You are going to be guided through your pregnancy. And because there is such a hunt for these babies, you're going to be attacked, especially around the time of your conception, mainly anywhere from 6 to 18 months before your conception. There will be a lot of attacks that will mainly affect your finances and your health, mainly your physical and your mental health. If you start seeing so many things that are coming to you that have something to do with sex, even things that may be a threat to your personal life, your physical vessel, like STDs, concerns about, your reproductive parts, things that may be preventing you from conceiving, like damaged ovaries, damaged testicles, that is a sign that there is a baby that is supposed to come from you, and there is an attack. Of course, sometimes the Creator does this because He doesn't want you to conceive for whatever reason, right? But if the Creator doesn't want you to conceive, there's a reason why He is halting your ability or just the overall process to get pregnant and just have a baby, right? Because technically He wants us to reproduce, but if He's not allowing you to reproduce, there is a reason for that. And most of the time it's because there's some strain on the bloodline, okay, that will either be preventing, that will cause damage, or that will just cause so much warfare that a certain time needs to have passed and have come in order for that child to be born into the bloodline. Just think about the story of when, these people were going around to kill the babies because they were looking for Jesus, and then really try to figure out where Jesus came from and what His mom went through. All right, but I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea, because it's most definitely free. All right, love y'all. Peace.